Hi, I'm Jade.
And I'm Salayan, and we are a part of a free and inclusive program called Wild Outside. It is for ages 15 to 18, and it is located in cities all over Canada. With this organization, we hope to build connections with nature through experiences.
We are on Amiskwachi, Waskagan, the Nahiawin or Craybird. For Edmonton, we are on Treaty 6 territory, which is home to many diverse Indigenous groups, which include Nahiawak, Inuit, Métis, and many others.
The topic of our video today is sustainable food and how it connects to climate change. More specifically, how setting up your own garden and growing your own food can impact the environment. This here is the Eastwood Community Garden located in Edmonton, and it is one of more than 80 community gardens in the city. Now, why do we have community gardens? And do we really need that many? Community gardens allow people to organically grow their own food, and they promote healthy lifestyles. In addition to that, they allow communities to connect with each other. With Edmonton having a population of over 1.4 million, I think it's great that we have that many across the city.
If Edmonton has so many community gardens, you might think that they are beneficial to us and the environment, and you would be right. Here are some reasons why community gardens are still vital. They help with greenhouse gas emissions and pollution by reducing shipping of food over long distances. They help reduce the amount of fuel being used for transportation. 2. They reduce plastic for packaging. This helps to reduce plastic waste pollution and the greenhouse gas emissions that are produced by making plastic. 3. Biodiversity drives important natural processes that humans depend on that make our cities more livable. 4. Having a garden helps people to connect with the land with building new skills. Throughout sustainable gardening, people get to learn new ways to plant food, they get to develop a relationship with the land and get to know more about their communities. 5. Help with your physical activity by doing maintenance activities. 6. Increases your fruit and vegetable intake because you planted them and know where they came from, so you're more likely to have them.
A community garden, as big as this one, needs a lot of maintenance throughout the warm months. Wild Outside is tending to it to learn about sustainable food and to donate more than half of our harvest to the Edmonton Food Bank. But not only do we have to tend to the plants, but we also have to create a safe space for all the wildlife that come close to it. Here are 5 garden practices you can include in your gardening routine that can help us, the wildlife, and the growth of the plants. Number 1. Avoid pesticides, especially neonicotinoids. Simply put, it is not good for our health or the health of pollinators and the environment. However, there are healthier pest management alternatives that you can apply, such as companion planting. Companion planting is placing certain crops together to help prevent pests, improve soil nutrients, and provides faster growth. An example of these are broccoli and sage, tomatoes and corn, and broccoli and tomatoes.
Number 2. Start composting because it reduces GHGs. With the help of composting worms, you can turn your food scraps and your waste into nutrient-rich soil called castings. Putting a little bit of this on the base of your plant can greatly benefit its growth.
Castings contain antibacterial properties that helps the plants fight off diseases. Number 3. Conserve water. Some ways to do this are by collecting rainwater in a rainwater barrel, checking the weather for rainy days so you don't have to go out and water the plants yourself, and using drought-tolerant plants such as beans. You can also minimize evaporation by adding mulch to your plots and using castings. Number 4. Anyone who is planning to start a garden or is currently maintaining one has to keep the wildlife in mind. A good way to do this is to plant native species because they have co-evolved with wildlife over the centuries. This is also a great way to maintain native habitat and prevent invasive species from taking over the area. There are over 50 native species in Alberta alone. There are plenty of them that help our gardens, like blanket flowers, common yarrow, and bee balm. Number 5. Consider a polyculture garden. Polyculture is planting more than one species at the same time and place. A good example of this is the Northlands Urban Farm located in Edmonton. Here, you'll see a variety of fruits, vegetables, and flowering plants such as flax and quinoa. In addition to companion planting, this creates pest prevention and reduces the need for pesticide or herbicide.
In Wild Outside, our goal is to transform our homes and gardens into a wildlife-friendly habitat. Every wildlife-friendly garden is a haven that can act as a stepping stone between larger areas of natural habitat.
A big reason why plants grow or gardens thrive is thanks to pollinators. Whether it be bees, birds, butterflies, or moths, they are all an essential part of reproduction, as 90% of flowering plants depend on them. However, due to agriculture, mining, and climate change, they are experiencing habitat loss and are contracting diseases. Here at CWF, their goal is to address the decline of pollinator population worldwide. They are currently collaborating with Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada to learn how to design farms that accommodate pollinators, and you can help them. Visit domoreforwildlife.ca or give a gift to wildlife.ca to donate or learn more. If you have the resources, consider helping out by transforming your garden into a sanctuary for them. Ways you can do this are by adding a bunch of colorful flowers throughout your yard, plant native species, avoid pesticides, make a shallow bath for them because landing in an open water source put them at risk of drowning, and lastly, putting up a bee hotel or a bumblebee box so that solitary nesting bees have somewhere safe to place their eggs.
A garden is a great way to eat better, but you don't necessarily need one to eat sustainably. We understand that some people may not be able to have a garden for a variety of reasons. Great ways to eat sustainably is by doing the following. 1. Supporting your community by eating locally, which helps with reducing greenhouse gas emissions. 2. Eating more seasonal foods around you can help with bringing our packaging to a minimum, and it makes less waste for the environment. 3. Eating more plant-based foods can help with the environment and our health.
Now that we've shown you some ways on how to eat sustainably, isn't it cool how small acts just like that can greatly benefit our health and the health of our environment?
If you want to see wildlife, native plants, and ourselves in the future, a great way to start is eating sustainably now.